Okay, we have spent a couple modules doing some basic review, looking at all types of equations and the algebraic techniques needed to solve those. We've looked at functions in general, what makes something a function or not a function, what's the notation that we use for that. Now we're going to go and zero in on some specific types of equations and functions. In this particular module, we're going to look strictly at linear functions and equations. So to be linear means we're going to have a constant rate of increase or decrease. There's a constant rate of change. In the first section, we're going to again do some basic groundwork, and that's going to be looking at what does that equation of a line actually look like? How do I know what the slope is? What does the slope mean? It's a rate of change. And how can I interpret that in a particular problem? And then we're going to look at, well, what about if it's a parallel line or perpendicular lines? Is there a connection there? And finally, if I have some information, like a couple points on my line, or I know where the y-intercept is and I know how I want it slanted, can I come up with an equation for that line? Once I have these basic kind of algebraic things and tools under my belt, we're going to start using them. So in section 2, we're going to start looking at word problems and applying the mathematics behind it and say, okay, well, there's a constant rate of change here. We know the temperature is constantly increasing. It started at this point, so therefore this is the equation, and we can answer some questions and make predictions using that. Then the actual most exciting part for me is section 3. This is where we're going to take a look at some real data, pull it all together and throw it on a graph, something we call a scatter plot. So let me show you what that might look like. You just throw a bunch of dots up there. Those are the real data points where you're comparing two things. And we look to see, is there a relationship? Now I'm looking at this one and there kind of seems to be a line maybe that would go between them and kind of estimate all of those, but it's not the best fit necessarily. So that's what we're going to be looking at. And once we determine that maybe this data could be represented by a line, we're going to then use technology to come up with what we call the regression line, or the line of best fit. The TI 83 and 84 are really easy to use with this. There are a few steps, but it's really pretty quick. If you don't have that, you can also use Excel or Desmos, which is a free online graphing calculator. If you need help with any of that technology, remember, I'm here to help, so let me know. I will have videos using the technology available in our Blackboard course. Hope you enjoy this module.